For one, I mean, what an opening game to play against a team, that type of experience, that type of talent. I thought it was great for our team. You know, you're bringing in 11 new guys. You don't know what to expect. And they showed me something today. You know, they showed me they could play with some composure. And I thought the moment wasn't too big for them. And they beat a really good basketball team, a well-coached team, who I have a lot of respect for. So really proud of our guys' effort. And now we have to try to build on it, you know, one game at a time.
You guys were playing down with 5 or 6 minutes left. They've got a 10, 11 point lead. What did you see in that final stretch that enabled you to come back and win this game?
Well, I thought really during that stretch when we were down about 9 or 11, I thought Keyshawn really started stepping up and making plays for us, and cut it to about 2 possessions with about 4 minutes to go. I want to say maybe a 6-point lead, but he put us in position. And I thought, all through the night, I thought DJ was making timely plays, getting fouled or making threes for us, which I thought was terrific. And then I think coming on the stretch, I mean, you put a freshman in there, and JJ just responded. He stepped up and offensive rebound put back, blocked some shots, rebounded the ball for us. I felt he kind of was all over the place making plays down the stretch. And you need guys to do that because, you're not going to win with 1 or 2 players. You need guys, able to step up and make plays to help your team. And I thought he did a really good job of that, and I was really proud of him as a freshman.
Coach, we talked about the character of this team. You guys don't have Jalen Sellers going into this game. You lose Mustafa to foul trouble. You lose Keyshawn to foul trouble. You guys are down 10 with 5 minutes left. But the guys still rally and come back to win this game. What does that say about the character?
And I think they have a lot of character. When we worked out this summer and this fall, the thing I saw was guys that love to compete and guys that love to win. When we're playing against each other in practice, it's very competitive. And that's how you get better, guys competing against one another, with the type of effort that they're giving. So when they played tonight and we were in that situation, they had been in some of those situations before, although it was practice, they had been in situations like that. And I thought they did a really good job of understanding what they need to do to work their way back in the game. And I thought they did that.
Johnny, you've been preaching defense, obviously, for many years now. I mean, what did you like about your team over the last 5 or 6 minutes where they were able to clamp down a little bit on Texas A&M?
That's my type of team. I thought it showed an amazing toughness because you have to really dig down deep, to get those stops. Especially that team had momentum coming down the stretch, like you said, about 5 minutes, up 10. But our guys just kept fighting. They kept understanding the importance of getting stops. But not only stops, closing them out with rebounds. I think up until that last possession, I think they probably got 4 or 5. That last 15 seconds felt like an eternity for me as a coach, as you can imagine. But I thought up until that point, we had some really good timely rebounds, some rebounds in traffic with a lot of physicality. And that's what we need to face. Our guys need to see that going forward because a lot of these players have never been at a level where you're going to see that from a team for 40 minutes. And that's what they saw tonight.
Coach, you're down a couple of guys from injury. Mikey Williams in the boot. What happened?
Mikey should be fine. I mean, it's nothing major. Just he's not a boot where he broke anything or anything like that. So I don't know what the timetable is, but I don't think that he's something he'll be out, any long period of time.
Did he get hurt in practice or
yes.
the exhibitions?
Mm-hmm. It was in practice.
And what about Jalen up there?
And Jalen, the same thing. I'm not sure what Jalen's status overall will be, but we're just looking at him more day to day. Seeing what's going to happen. And the main thing wasn't anything that seemed to be like really bad watching him on the floor. It wasn't something that was when you saw him on the floor, I was so worried. But from what I can tell, it's nothing like that. We just have to kind of give him time to recover, and he's in the process of doing that.
What's the nature of the injury?
He just sore. He's just sore.
Sore where?
Yeah. He's just sore. So I don't like to go over things like that with our guys. I think that should be for them to say. I don't like to speak for them in those situations for their privacy and the doctor's privacy. So, but he will. He seems to be. You saw him on the bench. Seemed to be moving okay and getting better. And it's just a process for him. But hopefully it's not something that's going to be too long, and we'll do. But we have to wait and see.
Coach, you said at media day, tough game out of the gate. It's a test that you wanted the guys to go through. You said it will tell us where we're at.
Yes.
Where are you?
We're a work in progress. We really are. I mean, I thought we did some really good things to pull off the win, but I can see a lot of room for growth and improvement with this team. I thought we weren't as efficient as we needed to be. If I can start going through all the different things that I'll talk to them about, I thought rebounding the basketball has got to be better for us. I think we have to do a better job of identifying, where the shooters are. I thought a few times, and of course, he's unbelievable with the range he has. But we went over that and scouted that. So we gave up a few of those shots that we had went through extensively the last couple of days. So we have to follow the game plan even better, as we go forward. So these are things that I see, but really proud of the effort, as I said before. Really proud of our composure. And I thought our leadership was really good. I thought DJ provided great leadership. Again, with 11 new players he's never played with before at that position. I thought having someone that understands my system, understands what I want out there, was huge for us. And so we need to continue to build on that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about DJ because you got freshmen, you got newcomers, a lot of new faces. How reassuring is it to have a guy like DJ at the point guard spot? How much better is he this year as a senior?
You know what? I thought he finished the season out amazing last year, and I think he just carried it over today again to how he was playing at the end of last year, which was really good to see. And like you said, having someone like that for a coach and a former point guard myself, having someone that I know understands exactly what I want, because he had to had the growing pains as any young player, freshman, sophomore, but he's mature now. He understands our system, and for him to relay that message to the players on the court is hugely important. And I thought he did a really good job of that.
Speaking
Coach.
of Darius, your guards combined for 50 points tonight. What do you like to see out of Juice, him, and Keyshawn?
Excuse me. I like to see those guys continue to lead. I always say leadership is plural, so I like to see, Jordan growing leadership in our program. I like to see Keyshawn growing leadership in our program, because those guys are going to be on the floor, and they're going to be on the floor together. So the more they can take what we're saying and apply it to the court, the better off we're going to be, and the more they can connect with each other. Like I thought in the first half, it didn't really show, but I thought it was beautiful basketball. They were moving the basketball, connecting. We were getting good looks. We didn't always make them, but we were getting shots that showed our guys were playing for each other. And that's the kind of system I want to have. That's the kind of players I want to have. But they're playing for more than just themselves on the court. They're playing for UCF first and foremost, and they're playing for the teammates. And I thought they exemplified that in the first half.
Coach, Mustafa dealt with some adversity in the second half, but he showed active hands and an ability to anchor the paint with 6 blocks. How would you evaluate his debut performance and his growth early on?
Well, I thought he had a great, debut. 6 blocks in the opening game, I thought was great. I thought he had one terrific post move, which he's capable of doing. That's on me. We should have went to him more down there, to be quite frank. And he should have touched it more in those areas, because he's a capable scorer in the low post. And so these are things that we have to, again, this is where we're going to grow. As a staff, as a team, we have to understand how these pieces all fit together and how we can maximize each other. And so we can do, I think, a better job at helping him in some of those areas. But I thought he was great. He took a tough fall, and he ended up coming back in the game and contributing. Says a lot about, his will to win, his competitiveness.
You mentioned the quality of the opponent and the newness of this team, but to have a team that struggled to shoot. I know you want to be a defensive team, but it's hard sometimes when you're struggling to shoot to keep that defensive fire.
Yes.
What does it mean to still have that defensive fire and to almost shut them out without a field goal for the last 5 minutes of the game?
It showed maturity. That's what a mature team would do, because they understand the importance of how you have to guard to win. A young team, immature team, they live and die by their shots. If they're making shots, they got more energy defensively. Really good teams, championship caliber teams, those are teams that understand the ball's going to fall some nights it's not. We're going to win because every night we're going to guard at a high level. And I thought our guys really bought into that, and they defended at a high level for most of the night.
You've had a lot of season openers in your day. You ever had a court storming on a season opener?
No, I can't say we have. But you know what? And I said this, on the radio, is that I don't think we win this game if our student section and our fans weren't the way they were. I really don't. I think we did some really good things, but we still couldn't have done it without our fans. Our support, as you know, what you've seen over the last several years, has been amazing. And our student section, man, to have to play down in the second half for 20 minutes in front of them, that's challenging. I've been in, like I said, some amazing arenas before, and I put our student section up, with anyone when they come out like they did today, with that kind of effort, what they did, the amount of noise they were making on possessions, that's hard. And so again, I think it not only was our team win, but it was our entire student section, our fans. It was a win for everybody, because we don't do it, in my opinion, if we all didn't participate.
Coach, you
Most
guys
of the
struggled
meetings,
with fast break possessions, but it seemed like you were able to slow down later in the game and get into your actions and your sets a little bit better. How do you hope to do that with better production moving forward in terms of getting into your sets?
Well, we definitely didn't play at the pace I want to play at. That's for sure. We still trying to up our pace, and that's something that we have to keep preaching. We have to keep teaching, and to get it where we want. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight because these guys all come from different systems and they're learning to play ours. So we're going to keep pushing them in that direction. We have to play faster, and I think that's a strength of ours. And the fast break points does show that's something that is way too low for what we want to do. But again, a lot of times I like to give credit to the team you're playing. They scout very well. They're well coached, and they knew that we want to get up and down and run. And they did a good job of, setting their defense to make that more difficult for us. So they made a great adjustment. Now we have to make an adjustment going forward.
Most teams don't start off with a top 25 game in their season opener. I know you like it now because it's a win, but just how does a game like this set you guys up for the non-conference when you're going to go to West Virginia for the tournament, play some tough teams, and eventually the Big 12 schedule coming up in a couple months?
Well, to be prepared for Big 12 players, it's going to be like this every night. It'll be 20 games like tonight. I mean, it's going to be hard fought. And the only way you can be prepared for games like that are to play teams like this. And to get, my team's attention, I wanted to play a team like this right away so that our guys would understand, all the things we talked about in the summer and in the fall. Hey, Coach mentioned this. I know when they're on the court playing those 40 minutes a day, a lot of those things came back to their mind where the coach did say this is going to happen. He did say it's going to be this physical. He did say teams are going to rebound this way. So, I think we get credibility for telling them all summer, but now they actually lived it in a game. And so going forward, they understand, the level of, intensity that's going to require to be successful.
With so many new guys, what are you most encouraged about what you saw tonight from the way they played together?
Is that I'm most encouraged about that we were connected. Man, you have 11 new guys. The hardest thing for us is to get chemistry and continuity. You hear me say it all the time. Because there's so many new guys. Everybody's used to being a man where they were, used to taking all the shots they wanted to take. And now you have to be part of a team where you have to kind of sacrifice a little bit of who you are for the betterment of the team. And so that's where we are right now. And I was really proud how the ball moved and how we shared it, knowing that a lot of those guys are used to just getting that ball and going to score it, with an individual move. And so that was exciting. I thought defensively, I really challenged our guys after the 2 preseason games we had. I thought, we have to defend a lot better to have a chance to be competitive, in Big 12 conference. And I thought our guys really bought into that. I thought we really defended at a high level. I mean, the young man, Wade Taylor, I love his game. We scouted him. He had 7 30-point games last year and a 40-point game. And so I knew we were playing one of the best guards in the country returning. And I wanted to see how our guys would compete against a guy like that. And I thought our guys really did give a great effort.
Coach, it was only a few months ago that we were in this room and USF coach Amir Abdul-Rahim had just had a big win in the NIT. That was obviously devastating news a couple weeks ago. We haven't had a chance to ask you about that. Just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the passing of Coach Abdul-Rahim.
I think for all of us, it just broke our heart. I mean, really, I didn't know him well, but what I did know of him and my times I did speak with him, just a really, really nice human being, great guy. I think he was in our business for all the right reasons, mentoring and working with young people, developing them. And it just shows you, just 43 years old, young family. It breaks all of our heart in our community, probably outside of our community too. And but it also shows that tomorrow's never promised, so it just isn't. And I tell our players that all the time. So you have to live you have to stay in each moment. You have to live it, and you have to share it with other people. And that's what he did. And so, yeah, I couldn't believe it. Someone I just coached against the last game of our season last year, and we started the season. He's passed away, and he's that young. So it's tough for our community.
Coach, this is a new team, and it seemed like much of this game was characterized by growing pains of a new team. What was your message to them in the huddle, despite the struggles?
I just wanted us to stay the course. I knew we were down. We were fighting uphill a lot throughout the game. But I wanted our guys just to stay in the moment, keep on, understanding, taking it possession by possession, and let's see if we can chip away and see if we can't get some momentum. And we were able to do that at the end. We couldn't have found a better time to do it. At the end, we had chipped away. We had gotten some momentum, and we were able to turn it around, and largely because of how they defended and rebounded.
You guys fell in love with the three-point shot early in the game, 19 threes in the first half, and they were good looks, but they just weren't falling. Later in the game, it seems like you guys stopped doing that, attack the paint. Was that more of like a game plan change, or was just open?
No, we wanted to attack the paint, and we still know we're going to take threes. We have some guys that can shoot the basketball, and so when they have their looks, I could probably argue with about 3 looks in the first half that I didn't like. Other than that, I thought they really did, take some great shots for who they are, because I see them every day in practice, know the shots they're capable of making, and so, like I said, I wasn't too discouraged. We did put an emphasis on, trying to touch the paint more, and if those shots occur after touching the paint, then we should still take them, and that's what we did.
Have you communicated with Taylor Hendricks after he had the serious leg injury in the game the other night? Have you talked with him?
Yeah, I did. Just tough. I mean, he's in a little better place right now. His soreness was down. Of course, the surgery now, and I went to Charlotte to have the surgery, and so he's going to be fine. He's going to get back. It's not a career-ending injury. It just was a very unfortunate one, and I just really feel bad for him. He's starting to turn the corner as a young player now. He's in the second year. He's starting to figure things out, and you get a setback like this. But I know Taylor, he's going to work his butt off. He'll come back better than he was before because that's who he is, and then he'll have a bright future and play for a long time.
Any stats aren't going to jump off the page, but what did you see from him down the stretch, especially moving to the 5?
Well, I thought at the 5 it gives us more of a small ball 5, but he's so mobile. He's athletic around the rim. I thought he changed some shots around the rim. I thought he grabbed some rebounds or knocked some balls out that we were able to run down. I thought he was active with that. I thought he made a huge play for us when DJ drove, for a bucket, I think to put us ahead, where DJ drove and dropped it off to him. He finished it with the dunk underneath the basket. I mean, he did a good job. I mean, he's still figuring it out. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of basketball minutes under his belt, even though he's a senior. So there's a huge learning curve with a number of these guys. But if they just keep listening, keep allowing us to coach them, and I think they'll continue to get better.
1 or 2 more.
Second chance points and extra possessions seem to be the story most of the second half. What needs to be done by not only the bigs, but everyone moving forward to control the boards?
It takes 5 guys to rebound the basketball. We can't rely on Mustafa or Rokas or Benny to do all the rebounding for us. I challenged our guards in the second half. I said, you guys have got to get in there and get more rebounds and help us. And we're going to need that going forward. So we have to emphasize that more. I think they're capable because they all have good instincts and pursue balls pretty well. Just making sure that they make it a priority now, and that's something that's on the back burner, and watching the other guys do it for them.
Coach, the team shot 25% in the first half. How do you coach around that to make sure the game is tied going into halftime?
Well, we have to continue to play our system. We stayed with our system, and we kept defending. We stayed in that game because of how we guarded. It gave us a chance to be close enough, and pretty much we're tied at half. So in a game where we could kind of, come out in the second half, regroup, and then move forward from there. And so I thought our guys did a really good job of that, keeping us in the game by how they guarded in the first half. And you guard, you'll always have a chance. And it showed you that's true again tonight.
All set?
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
everybody.
Appreciate it.